Every story starts with a beginning. This is ours.
Hi, I'm Journey and this is Marco. Today we're presenting our big idea. So, in today's modern Australia, we are rich in cultural diversity. But Australia also has a strong cultural heritage belonging to the original custodians of the land, the Indigenous inhabitants. We propose a social business that will teach the youth the history of this nation pre-colonisation. Indigenous History Tours is designed to take primary school children and immerse them in this history. It is vital that this nation maintains an appreciation for its Indigenous heritage. Acknowledging this history is the foundation to building our national identity and moving forward into the future. Indigenous Tours is an initiative to close the gap between Australians and the ancestral and cultural heritage of its original people. Aimed towards the youth, these tours will provide historical lessons on site. With help from primary education teachers, we have developed tours that are immersive and engaging for the minds of primary school students. Additionally, we will employ Indigenous youth who will be mentored by elders of the community. The problem we face is the gap between Indigenous people and their culture with the wider Australian community today. The undercurrents of segregation run deep in the psyche of the people. Indigenous tours will educate and foster understanding in order to close the gap. This is the impact potential of our project. On to you, Marco. You're
Our consumers are the 278 primary schools existing in Perth's central suburbs defined by the Australian School Directory. The government's education curriculum sets out guidelines that encourage knowledge and education of Indigenous history. With our guided tours promoting this, it will make us interesting for the schools.
So, as part of a market plan, we want to reach out to the schools that we have identified as our customer base by advertising our service using different channels such as newspapers, social media, and by contacting primary school administrations across the central suburban areas of Perth. We would also present our product at school fairs and fetes where we would reach a larger number of customers at the same time. In the initial stage of our startup, getting our name out there would be of major goal, and therefore more emphasis will be placed on this than in later stages. Once we have a customer base, the goal will be to form long-lasting relationships where schools would return each semester. We also wish to implement a user-friendly website where potential customers, teachers, or even students could find information about our guided tours. Reservations could be made online, by email, or by phone.
The business will be created as a non-for-profit organization. All additional profits will be used either to improve the business or donate to charities which assist our current intentions. Our staff members will be a small group of people who are dedicated to their jobs and will be comprised of 2 tour guides, an operation manager, and an office administrator to manage the business. The operation manager will be in charge of the supervision of the tour guides and the business development of the company. On the other hand, the office administrator will be in charge of accounting, administrative, as well as dealing with compliance matters which relate to regulatory bodies as well as other stakeholders. Both the operation manager and the office administrator will report independently to prevent fraud. One of our biggest worries with the business is the lack of experience between staff members in the organization. The problem can be solved by adding more experienced people into the staff group as the company size increases. Another potential issue that we might be facing would be getting a bad reputation from our customers. To mitigate this problem, we could have customers directly issue a complaint to us and have an operation manager to oversee this situation and assist the customers who are affected in the best possible way. With the help and support from UWA and also from the panel of judges, we believe that this would not be an issue in our business.
While we can't see into the future and predict sales, we can reasonably measure predicted sales based off the size of the market and comparisons with other tour operators. Expenses, however, it can be predicted more accurately, as we have access to resources that allow us to find out how much marketing will cost, how much we will need to pay for items such as stationery, uniforms, insurance, and wages. We decided to take a conservative approach when it came to the expense in our budget, as we thought it would be more beneficial to our business to overestimate our expenses, as we can allocate an adequate level of money towards our expenses. The budget for the first year shows that we will have a projected revenue of over $36,000. Deconstructed, this is $200 2-hour school tour a day from Monday to Friday. We've budgeted that there'll likely be 3 non-school tours over the course of Friday and Saturday at an estimated cost of $160 per group, assuming there are 8 adults, 4 children at $15 and $10 respectively. For our first year, the projected expenses are likely to be $34,899. This includes the cost of insurance, stationery, marketing, uniforms and wages for tour guides and managers. Assuming that the tour guides are being paid $35/HR and the managers are being $40/HR, leaving us with a surplus of $1,101 to reinvest into the business or into the community. During our projected second year, we believe that our sales will double from the year before to earn a revenue of $72,000. However, as this is a second year of operating, the expenses of starting up aren't there, and therefore our expenses will solely be the variable expenses associated with doubling the amount of tours taken. Overall, our projected expenses for year 2 are expected to be $60,895, resulting in surplus of $11,105. Finally, in our third year we decided that we should increase the level of marketing and add more areas to take tours around. This meant taking tours on Sundays and increasing the amount of tours taken during Monday to Saturday. This ended up increasing our projected earnings to $113,760 p/year, while only increasing our expenses from year 2 to $75,518.
In conclusion, the business is aimed at exploiting the niche market in the tourism industry as it deals with the indigenous group. In addition, it is a social venture which would eventually uplift the social and economic status of the indigenous people. The scope for growth would be tremendous if it is executed in a well thought yet disciplined manner and with a strategic focus. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoy the video.